Welcome back to ROP TV, René Paris. Where else would you want to be right now, correct? Today we are talking ponytails. I know we've talked about this before, however, it still seems to be the most requested tutorial yet. Yes, I love to wear my hair like this all the time, and it's supposed to look messy. I don't want it to look, I'm not going to an after 5 event. I am not going to a formal dinner. This is my everyday messy bun. So it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to have fun. I'm going to show you 4 different looks that I wear during the week, and I always get requests to see how they're done. I have my little thing painted up back here. And I know that there's several ways to do this. So at the very end, I'm going to show how I do this look. I'm going to start off with 4 others. But before I get started, I just want to thank you again for joining us today at René Paris. And for those of you who are not familiar with René Paris, if this is your very first time today, welcome. We're so glad that you're with us today. Make sure you go to reneparis.com so that you can look at all the beautiful collections. Today I will be working with Angelica from the Noriko Collection and Jules. I think I'm doing all Angelicas, and I'm going to do Jules, and I'll tell you the colors as we go on. And these are Angelica PM partial monos. And if you want specifics on the caps, the foundations, and so forth, please make sure that you go view our tutorials. Alexander has some amazing tutorials. Abby does too, and make sure that you follow them as well on their personal accounts. If you want to follow me on my personal account, it's Texas Wig Fairy, and I would love to have you. However, just know that every Monday we can play together at ROP, because that is, oh my goodness, I can't tell you. Like, I meet people every week, obviously, that are going to be new to the styles and colors, and I can't tell you how happy I am that they have finally found the courage to look for something to help them with their hair loss needs. Not only that, just for fun, just for fashion. So whatever your circumstances, we are very thankful that you are here today. So I'm going to start off with a couple questions because I get DMs all the time and people always want to know what tools I use. So I am a licensed cosmetologist. I like to teach very casually, if you will, when I'm on Instagram, because I want to make sure that it's user-friendly. So please keep in mind that I could teach on a mannequin with a stand or a head with T-pins. I don't do that because, like I've said before, I don't want anyone feel like they're not going to be able to create this look if they don't have the styling stand, the foam head, the wig head, whatever the case may be. So I know there's more beautiful ways to do this, but I'm just going to show you the way I do it, and it's basically tilting my head over. I'm going to stand up in a few minutes. I mean, because if you really want the real how I do it, that's how I do it. There's 2 different ways. So I'm going to start off with my tools, first of all. This is our René Paris wide tooth comb. Whoops, can you see that? Sorry, I wanted to use a blue screen because you can see the colors better. Let me tone this down just a little bit. See there? So this is the wide tooth comb. I also use this little brush. Not often. I mean, you've seen me several times, and when I'm styling, I'm using my fingers. That's what I'm more comfortable with. Then I use these little hair scrunchies. They have fabric. I don't use rubber bands, and I don't use anything else because it's too harsh on the hair. Just these. And you know, one of the things I want to share with you is it seems like all hair clips are just hair clips, but they're not. You know, not when you're trying to keep up this amount of hair without it drooping, or you know, you don't want it to pull down, you don't want it to be oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked the screen. Yeah, I switched the screen because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. And if it's a little bit too white, you really can't see what I'm doing. And I'll adjust it in just a minute, but thank you for noticing that. These are the best clips. Can you see that? This is just, it has little teeth right here, and I'm showing that because all the clips, they're not the same. I mean, I have done this for years, and I've worn wigs for years, and it's really a little bit of a trick, if you will, a little bit of a trade secret to find the clips that are going to work the best. Okay? And then my little claws look like this. Not these claws, these claws. Okay, sorry. These are just, and when I'm purchasing them, I know this sounds kind of funny, but when I purchase them, if I have to really kind of squeeze a little bit harder, that tells me that it's going to be good for me. If it's a clip that, like, say for instance, this is just so easy to open, it's not going to hold the hair. So please keep in mind what I'm just trying to give you an idea, because I get questions all the time. They want to know exactly which clips I use, exactly which holders I use, which clips. Again, this has the that little claw. It's not a snap clip or anything like that, and they really do make a big difference. Then I always use the ROP holding spray. Sorry guys, I really try to remember all this, but you know what, today we have really had a lot of fun with a lot of people coming through. So okay, so this is the holding spray, and then I use Revive. These are ROP. This is really nice for a little bit of added sheen, and it really helps soften the fiber. Now, the other questions I had this week are, do I use elastic bands? No, I just showed you what I use. I don't use rubber bands. I would never suggest anything like that because it's really going to pull on the hair. I wouldn't even use it on my own hair. My bio hair that is not much, but we're not talking about that right now. Okay, so do you use, do I leave my wigs in updos when I, okay, so the most important thing I want to share with you today is, and I please hear me. When I first get an Angelica, I don't start putting it up in an updo right away. And if you are a seasoned wig wearer, like some of us are, the reason I don't do that is because they're so beautiful, so soft when I first get them, when we first get them. And then after wearing them, we do know that they're going to have what we call friction frizz. So as we wear them, they become a little bit knotted. The fiber wears. I mean, that's what it's designed to do. It's going to wear with friction against body heat, against our fabrics. Any kind of rubbing is going to cause the fiber to wear. So eventually it's going to frizz a little bit. It gets a little dull, a little bit harder to work with. And then it's, you know, as our wig ages, if you will, it's a little bit frizzy. And then, and I know I've heard many people say this is when they start putting it in an updo. When I do my updos, yes, I do leave them this way, but please hear me. If you have a brand new long style, not all Angelicas, I mean, I use Jewels to do a really cute updo too, then I wouldn't put it up in a high bun like this and leave it that way, because it's going to damage the fiber, it's going to crimp it, you're going to have a bend in it. So I would never suggest for you to start doing this from the get-go unless that's what you want. That's a choice that you're making with your piece, but I am not here telling you to do that, because it will change, it's going to wear the fiber out a little bit, so please keep that in mind. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so that was, do I do it with my brand new wig? No. Okay, and then I also had several questions on the dark wig that I was wearing at my personal Instagram. It was long and dark. That is a Noriko. That is Angelica. It's a limited edition color in Blueberry Burst. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece, and I'm going to show you that. I don't know that you're going to be able to really truly see the beautiful blue that's woven through it, but it's a beautiful color. So if that's something that you that works with your skin tone. Okay, so let me get started. So I am gonna, and another question is, do I pin the updos? I don't, but I'm not saying that works for everyone. I'm just saying that works for me. I don't really pin them because I'm gonna be changing my wigs all day. I change them every hour because this is what I do all day. So I don't pin them. In the event that I have to just take it off, then I'm ready to go. And I left this a little bit high here so that you can, so in a minute, when I toss this, you'll understand what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna start off with, and another little tip I use is, I understand that my ear tabs are here, but a lot of times I don't want the part in the middle. I want it on the side. So as long as it's comfortable and it's not bothersome, I move it to the side like this, which is not the way it's designed to wear, but this is one of the questions that I get. So this is the way I choose to wear it. And if you do, I know we don't, not all of us have bio hair, but if you do, I always just pull a little bit of my hair out here. So this is Jules. Let me get my little clip here. In Mochaccino LR. See if you can see, you can start seeing my bald spots here. So I'm just gonna take this and I kind of just pull the foundation down. And what I do first is I pin the top here. I'm gonna show you two ways to do this because I know I had people laughing at me when I tilted my head, but I mean, let's just be real. That's how I do it. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you stories. So this is just a clip to keep it up like this. Nothing fancy. Then I'm gonna take the back and I'm lifting this part up. And I'm always making sure that I'm pulling this down in the back like this. I always make sure that I pull that down as I'm styling it, because if you pull too hard, this is the biggest difference when I've noticed on the head, doing it on a head or doing it on my head. When I used to do it on the head, I would pull too tight, and then when I try to put it on, it would feel like it was gonna pop off because it wasn't adjusted correctly. So this is why I started doing it on myself, because it gave me a better feel for a better, okay. And I know this looks a little bit messy, but again, the more realistic, the more real it looks. I mean, I just can't explain that. Like, it just has a more realistic, messy kind of look to it. Okay, so I can always brush this, but like I said, I don't like the brushed look. I want it to look a little bit messy. Then I just take this and it takes a little bit of, you know, messing with the hair, kind of putting it in place, kind of looking here to see where you like it, where you don't like it, if you want to pull more back. And the other thing is, you can obviously do this on someone at home. Like, you could just put it on someone just to pre-prep the bun area, like the bun itself, if you have someone there. But you know, most of the time I don't have someone there, so I had to figure this out. Like, and obviously at the salon we can do this, but I have, you know, sometimes it's just more convenient for me to figure it out on my own, because I want to be able to teach somebody how to do this by themselves. Okay, so now I'm going to just take it, and you can do it once. And then I'm just taking the hair here, and I'm going to pull till I feel comfortable. This is where those little clips come in. So this is really strong, and I'm taking a piece of hair from the front here and hair from here, this is, and then I start looking on the sides here. And then in the back, since this is a little bit shorter, you guys got to bear with me. I can't see what's happening in the back, and I don't have any help today, so please keep in mind if I'm going to do the best I can. I don't have second camera person today. So again, you always want to make sure can you see that okay when I turn around? If you can't, just throw me a little note real quick. Throw me a little comment. Okay. Okay. So in one of my photographs, I did add a little piece of a little clip in. I don't have that today, but at least you kind of have an idea. Okay, so this is Jules in a very soft updo. Okay, this is just soft updo. And I wanted to show that because a lot of times we feel like if it's not shoulder length that you can't pull the hair up. I mean, this falls, again, I'm going to show you where this falls. Okay, so that's here. Hi ladies. Hi everyone, actually. Anyone who's watching. Yes, I have some of my friends watching who do hair. Some of my male stylists, thank you for viewing. Okay, so I'm going to show you a second way that I do this. And I know it's going to look funny, but let's just be real. This is how I do it. So I'm going to move back a little bit. This is exactly how I do my updo in the morning. As you can see, that was much easier. And I'm not saying it's gonna work for everyone's head size. Like, you know, my head's pretty big, but it's not pinned. You could see from the beginning I didn't pin it. Again, I'm using my little hair tie. This time I'm gonna loop it twice. And then this is where you kind of have to play with the sides here. And it takes a little bit of playing, you know. It never just, it's a little bit more work because it's not our actual hair, but I know that no matter how many places I go, especially with, you know, the fashion colors, I can't tell you how many people, just the color, just this one, how'd you get your hair that color? Like, who does your hair? It's a constant, you know, it's just constant. They just love, and then the fact that it's not a real fixed updo makes it more natural because, you know, it just looks like you did this at home, which is pretty much what you did. But okay, so the one thing I want to remind you of when you're wearing an updo like this is in the back here, you always want to make sure that you pull down so that when you don't want to pull below the occipital bone. That's something that I went over last week. You want to make sure that, and if you don't have bio hair, please go and view, like, let me think, I think it was two Instagrams back. Just remember that you can always kind of do this with your hairstyles. Most of them have just like a little bit of hair that kind of comes out whenever you do that, and it really does look natural. So you want to try that on your hairstyles. Okay, so whenever you're wearing any of these in an updo, you want to make sure that here, this isn't happening. Like, you want to make sure this is not happening. You want to make sure that you take it. You always want to make sure that you have hidden the little band in the back, because that's really, really important. And you could definitely leave more bang out. I didn't make it really smooth, guys, because I have several ponytails to show you, but I think the most important thing for you to know is just how to get it up, like up and away from the foundation, like the base, because it just seems like it's really not possible to do it with so much hair and for it to stay there. Okay, so next I'm going to show you, this is Angelica in chocolate. Okay, René Paris makes monofilament wigs. If you want to see like the different constructions on the pieces, please go to our YouTube channel so that you can see our tutorial on different wig caps, please. But I do understand what you're saying. That is skin top wigs, like, oh wow, that was like, that's a beautiful question. It's more of a vintage type. But I do know what you're saying. You would probably want to look at a double monofilament piece. So go to reneparis.com and look at our different foundations. Okay, so this is Angelica. And I'm going to take this and go to the side here. Sorry, I can't get rid of this little right thing here. Sorry about that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to leave a little bit here. Gonna leave a little bit here, and I always get asked how I do this too. This is just a side bun. I'm using this. And for those that have just joined, I'm just showing you how I wear my longer pieces in buns and ponytails. There's several ways to do this, so please make sure that you view Abby's tutorial on the way she likes putting her wigs up in updos, because everyone has their liking. And then for some fabulous looks as well, view Alexander's tutorials. You know, it's wonderful to see everyone's technique, if you will. Okay, so I am just using this little scrunchie, and I'm gonna go once. And then I'm going to go here, and I'm not going to pull all the way through. So since this is so new and I only wear it occasionally, this is how I wear this particular piece. It's not anything that's, you know, I'm not pulling on the fiber. It's not going to really cause any kind of bend in the hair. And then I always want to make sure here, I always just put like a little clip in the back. So this is, I'm using just a little clip like this. And I'm grabbing just a little bit of hair. I'm grabbing just a little bit of hair with my clip. So this is also a nice way to wear the Angelica if you don't want to wear it in a high bun. Okay, so this is Angelica in chocolate. Okay, so another question that I get is, does the wig have to have lace in the front? Does it have to be a monofilament? No, this is a basic construction, just a regular construction. Machine made is what it's called, Angelica. Okay, there's no lace here, there's no partial mono here. It's not double monofilament. So if you have your machine made style, you can do the same look as well. Okay, so now I'm going to take Hi, thank you, Sarah. Okay, so do you recommend gradually easing into different lengths for your first wig? Okay, so for your very first wig, if you have never worn a wig before, good question, Sarah, thank you. If you've never worn a wig before and you are wearing a wig because you've lost hair, not fashion, and please understand why I'm saying this. I would always suggest for you to find something that's closer to the style and color that you usually wear your hair like, because and I'm not saying this is for everyone, but for some, it's one thing to have to get used to wearing a wig, number one, and then number two, if you go a drastically different color or a drastic style, it may be just too much, and you definitely don't want to not wear the wig. So that would be my suggestion. I would do something really close in style and color if you feel that that's going to make you feel the most confident and comfortable. But if you're open to something completely different, I would still maybe suggest shoulder length before I would go from maybe short hair to this length, this is pretty long. So just because you want to get familiar with the wig, you want to build confidence, you want to become comfortable with the whole process of wearing one, and I wouldn't want you to feel defeated, or not comfortable. So that's what I would suggest if you were sitting in my chair. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a look that I wore the other day, and I got a lot of questions on how I did the little buns. So what I'm going to do is I've separated it in the back. And I'm going to just take my little scrunchie here. And I'm just going to go 1, 2, and on the very last, I'm not going to go all the way through. It's just kind of like a little messy bun here. Let me turn it this way. And I learned this from another viewer who has a lot of beautiful of their own, they have their own beautiful hair, bio hair, but I was just so thankful that she shared this with me, because sometimes we forget, like, if I'm not used to having hair like this, so I don't style hair like this every day, so it was really just a cute tip. So here we go, last again. And I kind of just left it like, you could always just leave it like that, but this is really cute under a baseball cap, but I was wearing it like this that day. And it's just a really cute look. So again, this is not really, I'm not using a lot of hair clips, I'm not really stressing the hair, so this is just another look. Cute. Okay. So let me show you. I'm going to show you with this look. Okay guys, so I know this is going to be funny, but again, for those of you that have just joined, I'm going to show you how I put my hair in a high messy bun. Please keep in mind that I know that I could do this on a mannequin or on a foam head or on the stand with the head, but again, I know you've heard me say this, but the reason I don't is because I don't want someone to feel like they can't create this look if they don't have those tools. So this is your machine-made Angelica in chocolate. Doesn't have to be lace in the front, doesn't have to be partial mono. You can work with your Angelica. I don't have it, it's not pinned. So I'm going to just show you how I do this at home. And like I said, it would be really easy if you could do this with someone, like if you could get someone and put it on their head and do it, great. I don't have someone to do that with usually at home, so and it takes a little bit of work here. You got to kind of pull the hair here, and again, this is just always keeping in mind back here, you want to pull this down And the reason I do that is because if I pull too tight and then I start pulling in the back, it just doesn't work. So here, let me decide what I want to do here. I think I'm going to do you want to make sure that you pull all this, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. You know, the first time you do this, you may just get it perfect, you may not. Then I just take a little bit of this so that I can hide. I mean, I know you've heard me share the one thing that makes me the most nervous, even though I've worn wigs forever, is I do have bald spots, and I do have to think about, like, if I don't know why, and I don't know that I'll ever get past that, but if it starts showing a little bit, I just get a little bit nervous. That's just me. Yes, I do get nervous. Okay, so I'm going to take fabric ponytail holder. And instead of going all the way through this second time, I kind of just do this again. Okay, so this is where that clip comes in that I was telling you about, because these are really stronghold clips. They're not pop clips, they're not little clips, they're not bobby pins. This is really strong. Okay, I'm so glad you guys have joined me this afternoon. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of hair here. I'm pulling this down a little bit, and I'm grabbing hair here. Then I pull this over like that. And I'm always, and again, remember, this is usually parted on the side, but I'm gonna put this other one back on and show you how I put it in the middle. You know, kind of that curtain bang thing we got going on right now. Okay, so in the back, like I was saying, you want to make sure that this is, and I'm just pulling hair. This doesn't have baby hair cut into it. I'm just pulling hair here so that this area, which is kind of bald here, I have it covered. Then back here, you want to make sure that the little adjustment tab is not showing. And it's not showing here. Okay, so this is Angelica in chocolate. It's adorable. I just love it. And it just looks like natural hair. Isn't that great? So that's how I do my messy bun. And I kid you not, the wig is fabulous. You can wear it so many different ways. If you don't have Angelica, you definitely need it in your collection. However, please keep in mind that after years of trying to find the right clips, these clips make all the difference. Okay, so see, again, I'm just taking a little bit of, yes, chocolate is a wonderful color. It's a very natural looking color. I'm just taking a tiny piece of hair, the clip, and I'm clipping it to the wig so that it keeps it nice and high. Who would know? So that's how I create my messy bun. Okay. So I'm going to show you how I did the part, and if you notice, it's not pinned on. There's no pins, no bobby pins. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pin it if you are going to be out and about and you feel like somebody, because you know, some people just don't know to keep their hands to themselves. If you feel like someone's going to grab it, then of course you want to bobby pin it. But for myself, I don't bobby pin. Okay, where can you find the clips? Okay, so these are not, I don't really have a specific place This is just a claw clip, and you can find these where you know, find in the areas where you find beauty supplies, in most stores, you know. Just, I'll try to put a photograph on my Instagram so you can see the type of clip. But these really do make a big difference. Okay, so let me show you. And for those of you who just joined, we did different updos in Angelica, in chocolate. I did jewels in mochaccino LR. And this was the one that I posted the other day. I did it the same way as I just did the other Angelica, except my little trick is I'm gonna wear the part in the middle. So keep in mind this particular style is Angelica PM. Oh, I also wanted to share with you, this is really important too. So if you look really closely, you can see the lace here. And I wanted to share with you because I meant to suggest this on another live, but sometimes you can wear this and it looks darker than your skin here. My suggestion is that you want to shampoo that, because what happens is on a daily basis when we put our hair on, some of the foundation, powder, whatever it may be, transfers to the little lace here. So you want to shampoo that, and it'll blend into your skin tone again. Unless you've modified it any, that's the one trick that I've found, that you shampoo that and it releases like the foundation or powder that may be there. Always remember though, when you're working with a lace piece, you don't want to use your nails. You want to use the palms of your fingers. Okay, palms of your fingers. Don't do this. Use the palms of your fingers to shampoo, and be very gentle because it's lace and it can tear. Okay, so is that not cool? So okay, so I'm going to show you here where this is a little floppy. Okay, and remember, I'm going to show you again. This is technically designed to wear like this, which looks great too. This looks great too. However, with the trend right now, I'm going to do curtain bang. And I just took it and I kind of just did this. And I pinned it overnight like that. And then in the morning, we had this going on. Okay, so then I'm shifting it to the middle. And I do realize this is not the correct way to wear it. Okay, good question. Before, I don't want to not answer that. So you can just shampoo the area in the front. If you feel like the rest of the hairstyle is clean, this is what I call spot cleaning. So I'm just going to shampoo this area and let it dry. If you don't feel like you need to shampoo the entire piece, then I wouldn't. Good question. Yes, thank you. This is Angelica in sea glass R. And please keep in mind, I do wear a lot of limited edition colors, but it's just because I love them. So again, if you just joined and you don't know where to get one of these pieces, go to reneeapparel.com, do the locator, use the locator, and you can find someone in your area. If not, then there are verified online vendors as well. Okay, so the reason I wanted to show you this, let me see if I can. Okay, so I know a lot of us, we could wear the pony, you can wear it as a ponytail too, but I'm always asked the question, how do you get it to stay up so high? Okay, if you notice, I'm getting, again, I'll show you one more time, the claw, the little clip. I'm pulling this forward. I'm grabbing a little piece of hair and I'm clipping it to the wig. Then I just kind of mess this up here. No one would ever know. Okay, so please keep in mind to check your adjustments because I'm sure it's showing back here. See that? So I just get it and tuck it under. But this is just one of my favorite styles. And again, it looks messy. I don't ever smooth it out really. I'm not going to a formal. It's not supposed to look after 5. It's my messy bun look and I just love it. So I hope I answered your questions. And thank you. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay, so I absolutely love this style. It's very, it's a beautiful style. Again, this is Angelica, 3 different colors. It's a little bit longer than what I'm comfortable with usually, but there's so much versatility with that style. So if you're looking for a longer style, I would definitely suggest Angelica. I thank you for joining me this afternoon. Okay, so why do I do that? Okay, yes. This is the #1 question I get. Why do you do that? Because if I don't clip my hair up here, the weight of this, it starts kind of weighing it down. And I don't want to have to worry about the piece coming back. So there's 2 little reasons I clip it. First of all, I want my bun to be high. I want a high bun. If you'll look, I'll show you from the side. It kind of looks like it's back here. I want my bun up here. I don't want it in the back. I want it like a high bun. So what it holds better, I'm just grabbing a little piece with the claw and I'm pinning it to the wig itself. I hope you can see that. And then I just mess it up because it holds it up here. I don't want it back here. I want it up here. Yes, we will. I will make sure that we save this to IG stories so that you can view this later, so that you can see the entire live. I'm sorry. Again, this is Angelica, and this was Sea Glass R. And the other tip, another reason I do this is because if you wear wigs, you know that you can kind of poke through here. And I'm actually, if it's a really windy day, I wish you could see this, but I've actually poked through the wig and I've grabbed a little bit of wig cap and wig and it'll keep it there. So that's just a little tip for me. Sometimes it's really windy. And don't forget that you can just add little accessories. Darn it. Can you see? Sorry about the lighting. I'm really trying for you to see the back here. Okay, so this is just, again, same claw. Just add an accessory. And it really does just personalize the look. I know it looks messy, but it looks natural. Okay, so I hope I answered all your, do you have a separate? Thank you for asking. If you want to follow me on my personal IG, it's at Texas Wig Fairy. Okay. Again, I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon at ROP TV. I hope I answered all your questions. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. Thank you. I had fun today. These were my 4 favorite looks. Have a good afternoon. And I always end off with, make sure you live big in your ROP wig. We'll see you later. Thank you, everyone.